More than 1 in 7 Americans are on food stamps, but the Obama administration wants even more people to sign up. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture is spending close to $3 million on radio ads like this.
Would you look at Margie? She looks amazing.
Yes, she sure does.
I wonder how she stays so fit. What's her secret?
Well, she told me that food stamp benefits help her eat right, and she stays active, too.
Oh, I didn't know they helped people our age.
Oh, food stamps help lots of people.
Food stamp benefits, putting healthy food within reach. A message from USDA.
Okay. When I started listening to this ad, at first, I really thought it was an ad for Sensa or Lucille Roberts. Like, what is she doing? She looks amazing. And then I find out it's food stamps. Now, Eric, tell me something. It used to be that you needed food stamps so that you wouldn't starve. Now it's you need food stamps so you won't get fat and you can look great?
If it were accurate, it would say, oh, look at Margie, she looks great. What is she doing? Well, she's spending all her food stamp money on beer and cigarettes, because that's probably what's going on. Here's the problem. 46 million Americans are on food stamps now. That's double where it was in 2007. 2008, we were at $35 billion in the food stamp program. Now we're going to be $80 billion, more than double. And, Dana, you pointed this out the other day, the poverty rate hasn't changed. It's not going down. So we're not getting any better. We're just spending a ton more money.
These people have a right to have food stamps under the law. Most of the people who haven't used food stamps are elderly people and poor people. If there's a way to use, you can laugh all you want about these radio ads, but the people who need these things are not people who live in the elitist East Coast. There's a lot of people who can sit back and pontificate about this.
Okay.
These are people, wait a second. These are people
Why? You
that
interrupt me all the time.
I didn't. You know, she's not saying anything. I didn't say anything. So I'm just saying that these people need and deserve food stamps under the law. Why should they not be able to get them?
But they're getting food stamps. The point is they are pushing this, Greg, as a preferable choice in life, right? They're basically saying, like, don't take care of yourself and your life it'll get better. You'll look even better than you did before, which is not how food stamps were designed. It was a safety net program.
I mean, I know it was, what was it, like $2 million, something like that? I mean, is that a lot of money? I don't know. I don't think it's that much money. I do think the ad is funny. It does sound like a vitamin supplement for old folks. And linking it to health issues seems a bit problematic. But at the same time, you know, if that product is there and the government has to let the people know that it's available, I don't see much of a problem with it. However, you know, it ensures survival of the government come election. That's the only question.
That's actually the point I wanted to make, which is a bigger government point, and it's not just USDA, but in all across the board. When Congress appropriates money to an agency, you have to, it's the use it or lose it policy. So that's, you know, some businesses order all their furniture right before the end of the fiscal year so that they can make sure that they've used their budget. One of the things is if you're not spending if you're not able to find the people that your program is supposed to help, then you're not going to get the money next year. So it becomes this. That's true on energy tax credits. You could find it at
what if people didn't use
all
it
across the board?
What if people didn't use this stuff? Then you wouldn't need it.
What about the fraud with it? What about the fraud? Because the Department of Agriculture, Eric, was asked about this, and they said, we can't release what we spend on food stamps because it's against federal rules. So sorry, taxpayers, you don't get to know what your money's being spent on.
Here's the other part of the problem. Right now, welfare spending is about 10 to 11% of our GDP. Within a few years, I think 25, 30 years, it's going to be 20% of our GDP. 28 million baby boomers are going to retire. It's unsustainable.
Are you suggesting Social Security? That includes Social Security?
Yes. You have to reform all of it. You have to.
Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama has some pretty good thoughts on this. I think from a moral standpoint, like how do we get people and the government from going down this path, which, as Bob pointed out, there are people who are in need, then how do we help them with a pro-growth policy, make sure that they aren't going to need it in the future? And that from a moral standpoint, we have an obligation to help them. I think that is worthwhile in a discussion.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, by the way, and I give him a lot of credit for this, George Bush wanted people who had the opportunity to be on food stamps who weren't using it. They did that in the Bush administration. The Obama administration increased the eligibility. There's no question about that. But if people are not using things that's food on your table, if there is anything you want to put advertising out for, it seems to me it's about that.
Right. Well, that begs the question, why wouldn't the administration do ads like this about Medicaid? There are 38 million people who are eligible for Medicaid. But rather than do Obamacare and this huge push, why not just do it piecemeal, like portability and trying to get people on the rolls?
It's an ad for free stuff. I mean, talk about an easy ad, an easy sell. They're using a mechanism that's used for private enterprise to give away stuff that we actually pay for.
You actually have big marketing budgets like Medicare Part D, the prescription drug thing, so the older people could find out about it and take advantage of it. That's how you get the word out.
And this is being run, we should point out, in states like Pennsylvania through June 30th with our money. Ooh, states like Pennsylvania.
Can we just point out something out, though, Bob? What happens is here's the poverty level. People above, well above the poverty level, can still access the food stamp program. You do realize
if that's part of what the eligibility requirements are, fine.
Yeah, but that keeps going up.
The agricultural sector is very strongly behind this thing for obvious reasons, right?